out to EGLX. Once again, my name is Craig. It's great to see everybody. Is everybody having fun at EGLX? Listen, I know, I'm positive you're having a good time, but I don't know about everybody else. I'm starting over. Hold on. Let's try it again. We got to redo this again because I can't do it. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Is everybody having a great time at EGLX today? All right, there you go. Sometimes it's called a hard reset. You start over, you just get going. Okay, it's great to see you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today here on the stage. Listen, the next presenters we have today, I'm super stoked to be here. If you guys know anything about me, I have a long, close personal history with these guys, and I've seen them grow and become the incredible content creators they are. Chad James and Ben Singer. These guys are awesome. They have an incredible brand called DeathBattle, and just this past week, they had the #1 trending video in the entire world, and it just lined up so perfectly. So that is awesome. Who here, by applause, has seen DeathBattle before? Clearly not understanding the instructions by raising their hand. All right, that's awesome. Yeah, so whether or not you know you've seen it, you've probably seen DeathBattle or somebody complaining about it online. It's awesome. So, but DeathBattle is an incredible series, and I would like to introduce you to you guys the showrunner of DeathBattle, Ben Singer, and Wiz and Boomstick from DeathBattle. It is Chad James and Ben Singer. Welcome, big round of applause for these guys as they come on up stage right now.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello. Chad, we each get our own couch.
All right, cool. This won't look awkward at all. We don't have any guests. It's just us, so a lot of couch.
That's all I ever wanted.
Yep.
Hey, guys.
Just going to get comfortable. I feel like Craig keeps doing these like insane, stellar intros for everyone, and I feel like it should be the opposite. Like he should be like, and there's just some guys, because that way it's only up from here.
That's true. That's true. All right.
But yeah, real quick, I guess we'll introduce ourselves. My name's Chad James. I work for Rooster Teeth, and I'm the voice of Boomstick in DeathBattle.
Claps for Boomstick.
There we go.
And I'm Ben Singer. I am the voice of Wiz for DeathBattle. Woo! Head claps. And the showrunner for the show. We started this thing back in December of 2010 is when it first
We're old.
Boba Fett versus Samus Aran dropped on the internet, and it was a piece of crap. But people seemed to like it, so we kept making it.
Yeah, and in case you're unfamiliar with DeathBattle, you're just walking through this cool crowd here. We don't do anything esports related, but since esports are all about going head-to-head, that's kind of what we do for our show, which is it's super nerdy. We settle all of those childhood debates of who would win in a fight to the death between Goku and Superman and things like that. So Ben originally had the concept for the show because, one, he was looking for a new thing to make, and then he came across these versus forums and stuff and really got inspired specifically by the Goku versus Superman debate.
Found a Goku versus Superman forum thread. People seemed very passionate about it.
It's because it got banned. It was a banned topic from the forum. And then, there were some versus shows around, like Machinima had a show called Versus.
So, real quick, Craig did ask if anybody here had seen DeathBattle before. I heard quite a few claps, so that's good. Wasn't exactly sure how many people here would have seen it. But for those who haven't, I think we do have some stuff to show you guys. So, the most recent episode that came out was Ganondorf versus Dracula. A huge 3D fight that we teamed up with a bunch of Source Filmmaker animators to make. And I think we have a little fight to show you guys. You want to just jump right into that?
Sure, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Your castle is lost, vampire. No man can challenge my power.
But what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets.
I'm no mere man. tricks mean nothing.
I am no simple vampire. I am a god. You're right. You're not a man. You're a pig. Let me hear you squeal.
That's DeathBattle. All right. If you're curious why it ended that way, why these characters did what they did, that's not the full episode. The full episode has these two characters that we play, Wiz and Boomstick, running through the statistics, the feats, all the little things you never knew about every character that's about to fight. And then we show this animated battle, and then at the end of it, we then explain in detail the very horrifically nerdy reasons why so-and-so won over the other. It gets way too far sometimes.
It does, but that's one of the fun things about the show, because a lot of times when people are writing characters, they're not thinking about, like, there are characters we bring into DeathBattle that don't normally fight, and writers will just write something, but then we're trying to actually analyze what that means, so like, whatever, so like this person gets thrown into a mountain and then the mountain crumbles, right? Then we have to determine, oh great, well how big was that mountain and how much force would that be, and so that means they can survive that, and that's what kind of led to the show.
The funniest one to me is clouds. You'd think, oh, this character is powerful enough to their punch create a shockwave that push clouds around. Like, whatever, they're clouds. It's water or whatever. In reality, moving clouds is this hugely impossible thing that only something like a nuclear bomb can do. So if your character just suddenly starts moving clouds around just by punching things, All Might, for example, somebody like that, they're probably really freaking powerful, and they're going to destroy anybody in DeathBattle.
Which is also really fun when you do a fight with My Little Pony. And Rainbow Dash is doing like ridiculous stuff. So we get to analyze all that fun stuff.
But of course, it's not all just nerdy figuring out all these statistics. There's also the animation. If we can go ahead and play the storyboard animation video for this fight in particular, we can kind of talk a little bit about that. This fight, we teamed up with a bunch of Source Filmmaker animators Devil Artemis, who's a big YouTuber, Daito, Duvod, and then a couple of people in our own studio. We work with Rooster Teeth, which is awesome. So we work with a bunch of the Rooster Teeth animators on these fights. Some of them are 3D. Some of them go through 3ds Max, Maya, those kinds of programs. Some of them are 2D. We started DeathBattle. So we were part of Screw Attack, and it was very much a video game company. So when we first started DeathBattle, that was very much in my mind. So the fights were sprite-based. There were even health bars, like a fighting game. That didn't last very long. Early series weirdness. But if we can go ahead and bring those boards up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
This is a little bit of the process.
So our process kind of starts with like all that research that we were mentioning earlier, and then we start writing the fight script, and then the host script, and then that goes off to get storyboarded, which is what you're seeing here, which then goes through many other steps.
This is from Christina, who's also a 3D animator.
Yeah.
Helped with, some of you may have seen Thanos vs. Darkseid, our season finale from last year, one of the biggest episodes we've ever done. Man, that episode got crazy. But Christina was one of the lead animators on that. So she did the storyboards, handed off to David, our in-house source filmmaker, animator, and he teamed up with all these YouTubers to make this awesome thing. So in the storyboards, it's essentially translating all this nerdy research into a script that then we have to show off, because DeathBattle's not just about analyzing the characters and being like super specific and nerdy about it, because that can get kind of boring. We're also here to celebrate these characters. Right. So we want Ganondorf, even though he's going to lose, to look awesome. We want to see Ganondorf as we've always seen him, or show him as we've always seen him. See all the coolest stuff he could do. So like the ball energy attack from the end of Ocarina of Time had to have that in there.
Or for your Smash players, I'm sure you saw his side B in there earlier.
The side B to the Warlock Punch absolutely had to be in there. So it's a huge process, but it's a fun one. It's a horribly nerdy one, sometimes stressful with all these numbers going around your head, especially if you're great at math like me. Yeah, I'm so good at math.
But that's why it's been really cool that we've been able to expand from the show literally being just Ben and I to now we have a whole team of 3D animators, 2D animators. We have a research team.
Research team was much better at math.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And it's great. And it's been super cool that like over the years how it's been able to form into this thing, all because you guys have been watching it. So thank you guys so much for doing that.
So I'm curious, of everybody who's watching right now, who here has not seen DeathBattle? Just cheer.
Well, technically they did. No.
Well, but aside from that, do we have anybody who's never seen it before? Okay, we do have a bunch of other fights that we'd love to show you guys. I don't know if there's anyone that you'd want to lean into.
Sure. What was that?
The live action one?
You know what?
We do actually have
that on hand. So, in addition to animation, 2D and 3D, we're always trying to explore new ways to keep the show fresh, and also like it's about, like Ben said earlier, we really want to represent these characters the best that we can. And there are some fights that we talk about, and we're like, well, I don't know if we want to do this one animated. And so we got to partner with Ismahawk, which if you guys don't know them, go subscribe to their channel. Danny and his whole crew are just like super awesome dudes, and they were known for doing this Nightwing series, and they were fans of ours, and we were fans of theirs. So we got to talking, and we were like, man, it really would be cool if we could like team up to do a live action episode, and then we did, and it was super fun.
Let's go ahead and play. Kate back there, can you play video number 12, Nightwing versus Daredevil, the first and so far only live action DeathBattle, but we plan on working with these guys pretty soon.
And that was really fun. And there's definitely some really interesting behind the scenes stories that we'll tell you about right after that one plays.
Yes.
But yeah, Danny, there we go.
I know you're there. You can leave now, or I can drag you out. It's your choice.
Ooh, I'm shaking in my boots, especially looking at the Prince of Darkness. But that case over there is part of an investigation I've been working, so why don't you hand it over, and I'll get out of your horns. Is that a no, then?
What the?
What are you? Better. I wish I could see the look on your face.
Me too. See you in hell.
Seen this. It's so good.
You gotta add some cheesy lines.
I forgot how many practical effects were actually in that.
Yeah.
The only completely digital shot was the baton hitting the side of the car and going back when Daredevil threw it. Everything else was based on practical effects. So like even the glowing hand at the end, there was a glowing glove that Danny found. Even Daredevil's baton shooting out. Obviously the cable was added in post, but the baton actually broke in the middle of shooting, and so we used that for the like snapping back in and falling out, which worked great.
We also ordered these stunt cinder blocks that just like one broke on shipping and the other one broke as they're lifting it out of the box.
There's one cut shot where Daredevil was going to hit Nightwing over the head with a cinder block, and those things just fell apart as soon as we took them out of the box.
Which is a huge bummer because we were really excited. We were like, yeah, like we spent the money on these cool like breakable fake cinder blocks, and everyone was excited about slamming it over somebody's head, and they just like turned to dust.
Yeah. I mean, they were hefty. They were pretty hefty. Like hitting somebody with it did hurt, but
Yeah.
they were also very easy to break.
My favorite story, hands down, though, is when Daredevil knees that car and it breaks that window. That's 100% real.
Danny, who plays Nightwing and directed it, and then Jeremy Lee, who was the director of photography, both were convinced that Tyler, the guy playing Daredevil, wasn't going to be able to like break the window or anything. They'd have to add post effects. And he said, no, I got it. I'm going to break that window. And he did. And the thing is, Danny, as Nightwing, is right there where he's aiming, and he had to get out of the way in time for him to hit the car. And before we even started, he was like, just come at me full force. Like, if I get hit, I get hit. Just come at me full force. And so we do the shot. Danny spins out of the way, as he's supposed to. Tyler hits the car, destroys it. Everybody's silent for like a good solid 2 seconds, and then Danny just goes, "Wow!" really loudly. Yeah, that was the running joke for a while.
Yeah, we never let Danny live that down, but it was super, super fun to do.
So we do all sorts of fights, and we have an episode like this also, like with Ganondorf Dracula. If you want to know why Nightwing won, you can check out the full episode, Death Battle, Nightwing versus Daredevil on YouTube. And we do so many of these every year. Right now, we currently release one every 3 weeks, and the next one coming up is this awesome Mob Psycho versus Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. We'll have a little tease at the end of the panel for you guys if you want to stick around.
Yeah, but we cover pretty much everything nerd culture, so like comics, movies, video games, anime. We haven't really done fantasy yet because it's hard to
Like
again,
novels, you mean?
What's up?
Like novels?
Yeah, like novels. We haven't really done novels, though we get requests for that, and we're still talking about how we would do that. Because like the part that you guys aren't seeing right now is, again, a lot of you guys have seen the show, but we do that rundown, and while we're talking about stuff, we need to show things, and it's really helpful when you have media, even if it's like comic books or manga, because then like it's still physical things that you can show what we're talking about. But it would be really boring if we're talking about like, so like, you know, let's say like Kaladin from Stormlight Archive, and like it's just pages of text going by. So like, yeah, we'll see. Maybe someday we'll crack that.
Once they turn it into a TV series and we're able to, because one of the things about novels that's hard is so much of our, going back to the crazy calculations and stuff, comes from measuring the visuals of a character. Like this character was 10 feet away from this guy and he threw his sword fast enough to hit the guy in less than half a second. Oh, how strong would we have to be to hit him at that distance, etc. So the visual representation definitely helps. So it'd be a little difficult. I know you want to get some of that Sanderson stuff in there at some point. But okay, last thing I think we should show. We're at a fighting game place, right? We're at an esports tournament thing. We have one episode that featured 2 very prominent fighting game characters.
Oh yeah.
You want to show that one?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
I don't know. You guys want to see another one? All right, cool.
We'll do one more, and this one is Kate. If you could bring up number 13, Ryu versus Jin, Street Fighter versus Tekken.
There's no way I can lose. Talk is cheap. The answer lies in the heart of battle. You could do better than that. Come on! I shall show you fear. Out of my way! You insect! I walk the path of the true warrior.
There we go. Torian killed it on that one. Animator for that.
Yeah, one of the cool things that we've been doing for a little while now is getting original fight music created, which in themselves are like a cool little fan mashup. So we work with a bunch of different people. Brandon Yates, Werewolf Airwolf. That one was Omega Sparks. And so we get to make these really cool little kind of musically inspired fan mashups.
Yes. Yeah, very much inspired by the music that both characters come from, but also with a little bit of their own original, stuff added in. Like the Ganondorf Dracula episode, for example, that's Brandon Yates. And when I gave him that episode, he was like, "Can I just go really heavy with it? Like really heavy metal?" I was like, we need some of that Zelda flair and stuff in there, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm going heavy metal." And it turned out great.
Yep.
So there's so many people, so many talented people working with us now. It's kind of crazy to think about how 10 years ago it was just you and me.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened.
And you keyframing the fights in Final Cut.
Yep, that's how you animate, right? Oh, man. So we have been doing this for a while now. We think it's about time we did something other than just fights. So we have a fighting card game now.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, so we've been working on this game for a little while. It's a card and dice game, and because honestly, like we knew we wanted to do some type of death battle game, but obviously, like licensing would be a nightmare. And we were thinking about it, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, you guys should like do Super Fight. You should do Super Fight." And then it was like, "Nah, like if we're gonna do a game, we should do our own thing." So Ben spent some time and he crafted this really cool experience because basically we wanted it to feel like when you guys are playing the game, like you're creating your own like kind of original character and you're fighting this other person, and it's all about building your combos and going back and forth and having a really satisfying payoff at the end. So we've got a little trailer that we're going to show real quick if you guys want to check it out.
Let's go ahead and play number 4, game trailer.
Thanks.
Dude! Oh, hey, I think I won.
There we go. So
But yeah, the game's a lot of fun. If you guys want to check it out, you can pick it up at store.roosterteeth.com. Yeah,
it just got released this past week. Like, it's only been out for about a week. So it's at the Rooster Teeth store. Please check it out. I'm very proud of how it came together. We've been working on this for over 2 years, and I really hope everybody likes it. Like, I don't know. It feels cool to have something like this out there. DeathBattle, as awesome as DeathBattle is, we do rely a lot on people knowing the characters. Like, a lot of DeathBattle comes from the characters that we put in each matchup, obviously. So it's cool to put something out there that is
a little different.
100% us, basically. A lot of the cards are very much inspired by characters who have appeared in DeathBattle, both very serious, edgy characters and some ridiculous ones. One of the weapon cards, I believe, is just butt cannons based on Astro Boy's machine gun butt. So it's
Yeah,
great.
we've got like nipple lasers in there and seduction
Yeah.
armor. Also, if you guys are Rooster Teeth fans, the current ones that are available on the site, the first run, we have some bonus like Rooster Teeth property cards. So like Ruby and things like that. Speaking of which, if you are Ruby fans, I don't know if you noticed in Ryu versus Jin, but when they bust through the dojo, that 100% is a set from Ruby. And that's one of the cool things about working with Rooster Teeth is like, we get to kind of share some assets and some animations, and like everyone's there is like, they're there to animate and inspiring. So it's really cool that we get to do crossovers like that and have little nods.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think we can move on to the Q&A if you want.
Yeah,
to.
we're gonna do some Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, it's way easier for us if you hold up something interesting, because then it's easier for us to call on that person, and we're going to have somebody run over with a mic, because otherwise there's a bunch of hands. I'm like, you, and then someone's like, no, not you, and then they get disappointed, and then I feel bad, so we're going to try not to do that. So if you guys have a question, just hold up something interesting, a hat, a shoe, that pair of headphones. We'll start with that guy. And then, yeah, they're going to run over here with a mic. There he comes. See the dude in the blue shirt.
There we go.
Where did you first start to get the idea from DeathBattle?
Where do we
what
first
originated
start
it?
to get the idea for DeathBattle?
Where did we first start the idea? The idea for DeathBattle initially came from I stumbled upon a video on YouTube that was called Haloid, and little did I know that it was from Monty Oum, the guy who started Ruby. Speaking of Ruby. And that kind of inspired me to look into this sort of versus thing going on, because the video was Master Chief versus Samus. It was this crazy 3D animated thing, looked fantastic, and that led me to find a forum of Goku versus Superman where everybody was very passionate about it. So I thought, I can make a video about this. Let's figure out who would win between Goku and Superman, and people were passionate about it.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Ben, I already picked the last one. You pick the next one.
This guy waving the hat right here.
Spinning hat. Oh, nice.
That guy beneath the guy waving
Beneath the
hat
spinning
right
hat. You're a good friend.
What was your favorite DeathBattle episode?
Our favorite episode that we've ever done. This one's always super hard because we've done like 116 now or whatever.
Yeah, we're actually, I think we're getting close to 125.
Yeah, for different reasons. I absolutely, that Ganondorf Dracula one, the animation's just super incredible. I love that. I'm a huge fan of He-Man versus Lion-O. Ben and I spent forever working on that because I took He-Man, he took Lion-O, and every day we were just trying to one-up each other with the research. And then we got to write that one super campy because both those franchises, they just feel like they would work as a crossover in each other's universe. So it was like we got to write our own little crossover episode of Thundercats and He-Man. And then also Balrog versus TJ combo. Because Torian, who's one of our animators, and he was our main 3D animator for a long time. He animates. He's absolutely incredible, and he does all but he's doing really big stuff and people flying around and shooting lasers. Balrog TJ combo was just a really cool chance to just let him even just shine as an animator. Just that one-on-one boxing match, and he made it feel so impactful, so entertaining, and so suspenseful. And so I like that one a lot.
And of course, the Optimus Prime versus Gundam, the original Gundam.
Best soundtrack we've ever done. We're never going to beat that song. It's so good.
We wanted to make a soundtrack to that was very much inspired by 70s. The old school, everybody's seen the Transformers movie, the old one, the maybe good, maybe bad one. It's a weird movie. We wanted to make something very similar to that in terms of a soundtrack, just to celebrate that era. And man, Werewolf knocked it out of the park.
That's so good. All right, next question. Let's do the dude shaking the backpack who might also be making the sand person sound.
Hey guys. Is it on? Hey guys, massive fan. We always wondered who's gonna win in a death battle, 23andMe or Blue Apron.
Dude, don't put us on the spot with our sponsors, man.
We can't lose our parent companies.
They're
advertisers.
They're both great products in their own right.
But seriously, the sponsors do help us be able to make stuff like this. Without them, we wouldn't be able to keep such an awesome team together.
Yeah.
Thank God people are willing to sponsor something as nerdy and
Yeah.
ridiculous as Death Battle.
And thank you to those who have tried other products and supported them. Also, that did remind me. So one thing, in order for us to get to questions like quicker, so don't pitch us any suggestions. We have the suggestion forums. We read comments and things like that. So if you have a suggestion, throw it there. We really do look at all those. But this is an opportunity for people to get asked and hear questions answered. So we try not to clog that time up with who would win between these two. All right, your turn.
Let's get somebody from over here. How about the Borderlands mask?
Let's just keep going left side and right side so that our poor runner has to just keep going back.
What, skip the middle?
No, I'm just kidding. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, how's it going?
What?
I said, how's it going?
Going
Good,
all
man.
right.
How are you?
I'm good, man. My question was, would you consider Sarge as Boomstick's dad canon?
So, we got to write an episode of Red versus Blue.
In season 14, they had like an anthology season where a bunch of different creators, like Funhouse, Achievement Hunter, a bunch of different teams got to make their own episodes. And ours was essentially just a death battle between two characters from the series. And at the end of it, Boomstick meets Sarge.
So, here's the thing. I get a lot of questions like, oh, how'd you come up with the Boomstick voice? And my response is always like, oh, so like I knew he wanted to be kind of like a rednecky weapons expert. And so like, I thought about like Sarge from Red versus Blue, Adam Baldwin, and like those type of characters. And it was...
Character of Adam Baldwin, yes.
Well, you know what I mean. Like he plays
Yeah.
Jane, and like he plays that one dude in Chuck. Like so, like he always plays that kind of
plays
gruff.
the same kind of
right,
guy.
Right. And so it was crazy because this is way before we had anything to even do with Rooster Teeth. And through then just a weird series of events, we ended up under Rooster Teeth and then actually getting to write an episode of Red versus Blue. And so we were on a call with, it was like Miles and Joe and I think Gray. I don't know. I remember who else was there. It might have been Sean. But anyway.
Yeah, this is a while back.
We're on a call with them and I just get like, hey, like, I kind of want to make Sarge Boomstick's dad.
It's been a running joke throughout the series that Boomstick doesn't know his father. His
Right.
father left him.
And they laughed about it, and they're like, well, maybe. And so I went and I talked to Matt Hullum, who's the voice of Sarge, and he was like, do it, man. That's really funny. And so when we wrote the episode, they were like, okay, but we don't want to say it outright. So, like, we'll just have a little nod. So there's this really fun moment, and that might be that's probably one of my favorite moments in all of Death Battle, because I remember sitting on my couch when Red vs. Blue Season 1 was airing, and, like, watching it. And, like, it's so crazy that, like, a character I do now interacts with that. And, like, yeah, that was super cool. Their
I don't
little
want to
interaction
spoil
at
the
the end.
moment because it's
Just, you should go watch
It's a
it.
great way to end the episode.
It is. It's really fun.
But whether or not it's canon,
We'll see.
I guess we gotta stick to what we've got right now, which is maybe.
But
maybe.
technically now Wiz and Boomstick are in that universe, so who knows? All right, next question. All right, let's do you with who's doing the crazy dance.
All right. I know Wiz is in charge of the research, Boomstick's in charge of the battle there, but who's in charge? Wiz or
how does
Boomstick?
Wiz in charge of research and Boomstick in charge of battle. No,
Like in the fictional sense?
Are you talking about the characters, or are you talking about how we do the show?
You two in the fictional sense.
Oh, in the fictional sense. Okay, that's cool.
Jocelyn does all the research.
Yeah.
Our intern does. Wiz and Boomstick's intern does all the actual work.
No, so yeah, Wiz is definitely more into the analyzing the science aspect and putting real numbers to things. Boomstick is all about like really cool fights and explosions and guns. But that's where his like his I guess knowledge gets to shine, because he comes across, kind of lovable and dumb for a lot of things, but then it's just because he really doesn't care about the other stuff. So that like when, it's like, oh, but there's this gigantic explosion, Boomstick's all about like, oh yeah, that's because it's firing, it's firing this weapon, which means this is, and it goes off, and he gets really into that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, when starting Death Battle, one of the things I want to make sure we really emphasized is that just the idea of what we're doing is ridiculous. It's kind of stupid. Like, who would win in a fight between two fictional characters? Who cares? I mean, some people do, and that's great. But, but like, it doesn't really affect real life or anything. It's just some fun little fictional thing off to the side that you can, have a good time
Enjoy.
chatting about for a while.
It's
so
like-
I
it's-
didn't want the series to feel too serious, because if we go too serious, then I feel like people would start taking the matchups too seriously, and then we would be, I don't know, it would just feel weird to me if we're not having fun while watching a death battle.
Well, that's the other part too. It's also balancing out the fact that like we're giving you guys like a ton of information. It's like the character's history and background, and there could be potentially multiple different versions, and we're explaining and what their movesets are and the math, and like so like that's a ton of stuff to throw at you guys. So like our goal is to make it entertaining along the way and make it easier to digest.
Which is why Wiz and Boomstick are the way they are.
Right.
They were designed to be fun to listen to, ridiculous characters who are experts, apparently, in their fields. But at the end of the day, I always say Jocelyn the intern is the one who does all the actual work.
Yeah,
And Wiz and Boomstick just kind of interpret it.
And if you don't know who that character is, we ran a series for a long time called the Desk of Death Battle. And that was it. Again, you know, we're trying to keep this so you guys can digest all this information. So sometimes we'll find stuff that's like really funny or really interesting, but does not pertain to the fight whatsoever. And so we made the show to kind of show that stuff off. And that's where Jocelyn was created. And she's voiced by Lisa Foyles, who does a bunch of awesome stuff. If you guys haven't seen Lisa's stuff, go check it out. But we hope to, while Desk of Death Battle isn't airing currently, we do hope to bring Jocelyn into like the main Death Battle universe, I guess, in some way.
Yeah, we've slowly developed this lore around Death Battle. Mainly it's just whenever Ted and I are in the booth.
Yeah,
and
we just 98% of the lore that like have come from these characters has just been like Ben or I just saying some dumb thing in the VO booth while we're recording. And it's been fun, and it's really cool, like, because then the fans have like helped shape that too, because then they remind us of stuff, you know.
Yeah, and there's a Death Battle wiki that's really well done.
Yeah.
Like, hats off to the guys who put together the Wikipedia. I don't know what you call it, just wiki channel, wiki collection,
Sure,
whatever.
wiki page, whatever.
The wiki page. They did such a good job putting together all the like background things that because I don't remember half the stuff we say in the booth. That's all improv. So I frequently reference the wiki to make sure
Just
I
to
know
remind,
I
yeah, it's like-
understand what Boomstick said in a certain episode. That means that there's a
Yeah.
goose in the ceiling, apparently.
Yeah, like it's like, man, how many stepfathers has Boomstick had? Like that is they just say stuff in the booth. All right, cool. Let's get another question. Your turn, Ben.
We'll do one on the right side, I guess. This is a little fuzzy animal, yeah.
How was the Red versus Blue collab?
I can't hear you. Sorry, what's up?
Hold it really close.
How was the Red versus Blue collab, and do you plan on doing any more?
How was the red versus blue something horse?
One more time, sorry.
How was the Red versus Blue collab, and would you like?
And would we
are
do
you
more?
Are you doing more?
Got it.
Oh, okay. How was the Red versus Blue collab, and will we do more? So it specifically came about because season 14 of RVB was that collection series, and I don't know if that's the plan. If they plan on doing something like that in the future, I mean, maybe they will. Who knows? RVB
but it
is
was
the longest running series ever, so it could do anything in the future. So if another opportunity comes up, I would love to. I would love to do it again. If another opportunity comes up for Wiz and Boomstick to jump in that universe again,
Hell yeah.
absolutely. That was amazing.
And it was really cool working on because Ben is a huge Red versus Blue fan and has been forever. And I was from like way back because I was really into Halo. And so yeah, it was such a cool experience, man. Like, you know, you think back and it's just like I was sitting on my friend Sam's couch and we were just watching Red versus Blue. It's like, and how are we here that we're now like helping write an episode? Like that's wild. It was a really, really awesome experience.
It's actually funny. Is Craig? Craig, where are you?
He's over there. He's talking with
Craig
James
somewhere.
Lewis.
So way back in high school, this would be, no, when was this? 2010, 2007? 2007.
Sure.
Craig was starting up Screw Attack, and which was where Death Battle originally came from. And he was looking for employees and interns, and he came into my high school looking for interns. and I was in charge of a school broadcast club basically, and he came there, and the same day he came there to find an intern was the day that our final project was due for that semester or whatever, and my project was a machinima like Red versus Blue, and I played that, and he saw it and was like, okay, you're hired. So it just came full circle in a way.
Yeah. So
Machinima
really
is kind of how I got started in all this.
Yep.
It's weird to think about, but.
All right, next question. We got time for a couple
Red
more.
versus Blue again would be awesome.
Let's see. You're holding up the bag with the, looks like cup. Yeah, that's you.
What was one character you were happy to put in a death battle?
One more time. Can we get his mic volume up a bit? Not you. It's not on you. Don't worry about it. Try again.
Yeah.
I'll just be louder.
Just hold it up close.
What was one person you were happy to put in a death battle?
One person that we were happy to put in a death battle?
Happy to put.
It's always interesting because there's a lot of times.
Like happy in terms of what's one person that we want or character we want to see die.
No, like one of our favorite characters that we got to put into a death battle.
Okay,
Got it.
opposite. Oh my god.
Like I said before, He-Man Lino was super cool for me. I love that. We did this with a DBX and we haven't done it with a death battle, but I want Kenshin Himuro in so bad. I'm a huge fan of Samurai X and that whole series, so I would love to see Kenshin, but we haven't done that yet.
I think you might agree with me on this. There are some characters that are difficult to find a good matchup for. And for a while there, we were wondering what we could do with Lucy from Elfen Lied.
It was Carnage. Carnage is what we were trying to solve.
Carnage is what we did. No.
No, we were looking for Carnage.
Earlier, we had talked about bringing Lucy into a death battle years
right.
and years before. And we were like, we couldn't figure out who to pit her against. So then, several years later, Carnage versus Darth Maul came across the desk as a very frequently requested episode, and we thought, Carnage versus Darth Maul? I mean, they're red and black. Cool.
Yeah.
And so, but we wanted to bring one of them into a death battle, and then Lucy came back up again. We're like, this is perfect. And Carnage versus Lucy ended up being one of the most popular episodes we've ever done.
And
people
no one
loved
asked
it.
for it.
No one wanted it, but they actually did, I guess.
There's a couple of those. Way back in the day, we did Fox from Star Fox versus Bucky O'Hare. Which, if you know who Bucky O'Hare is, you're like, that's a perfect matchup. If you don't, which no one did, it was like, listen, world, this was a show that I watched as a kid.
We were so convinced nobody would know who Bucky O'Hare was that we played the intro to his TV show in the rundown in our actual episode. We just played it. But I love that episode so much.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, there's a 50-50 shot though that a character we put in could die. So, we've seen a lot of our favorite characters get killed.
So it's a risk. If you request a character for Death Battle, know that it's a 50-50 shot that they're going to die horribly.
Your turn.
Who knows? Oh, it's my turn. Okay, I'll do somebody in the middle. What about right up front here with the icy?
I like that you look down at a moment like, is the icy my microphone? Oh, wait.
Is Death Battle going to turn into a comic one day?
Is Death Battle going to turn into a comic?
One
day?
We've never had that question. That's really interesting.
That's an interesting question. So we mentioned Death Battle lore, background, history of the characters is expanding in strange ways. I don't know. It'd be really cool to have something like that. I don't think we've actually thought about that ever.
Yeah, we definitely want to expand upon the characters, especially like Wiz and Boomstick, because they're all our original characters, so it's easy. Then we can make merchandise and do things like that. And also, I think it'd be really cool to just expand on that relationship. They have this good odd couple thing that we really enjoy writing. And so one of the reasons, now we have the characters animated in Death Battle, which is something we wanted to do forever. So now Wiz and Boomstick are animated, and that lets us do visual gags between the characters. My favorite, hands down, that we've done so far, which we improv'd in the booth. We were recording the animated lines, and I was like, what if Wiz just stabbed Boomstick in the leg with a trident, and then he just started to scream with Aquaman's trident. But yeah, I think a comic could be a good way for us to kind of explore that with those characters.
I also really want to explore. So we recently rebooted our other series, DBX, Death Battle Exhibition, which is unlike Death Battle, the research and analysis has nothing to do with who wins. Actually, it's based on you guys' voting. But that's hosted by a brand new character named Ringmaster, who we have yet to see interact with Wiz and Boomstick, and I would love to see what happens when you get all of them in a room together. Because who knows what kind of shenanigans is going to happen. So whether that be an animated series, a comic, who knows? But that'd be really cool. So it's definitely something we thought about. Maybe not a comic specifically, but that's a good idea. We'll keep it in mind.
All right,
Walk
our
away.
right side, your left side. You're up. Let's see. Let's do the dude who's just doing rock on. All right, what's up?
How's it going, guys?
What's up, man?
Yo.
I just have a small request for Chad, actually.
Sure.
Would you be able to yell into the microphone that it's time for
Would I be able to what, sorry?
Yell into the microphone that it's time for a death battle.
Sure.
I know, never said that question before.
Oh, no, it's all good. He wants me to do the intro to the fight, so I said he wants me, but they were already like, who? Yes. All right, cool. Sorry to everyone else out there because this is never quiet. It's time for a death battle! We record that last, by the way, whenever we're recording scripts.
Yeah, that's actually, I don't know if we've ever actually talked about that, but when we record a script, we go through the whole thing, from front to back, but we do skip that middle part where we, the part that plays right before each fight. All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all. Now it's, what is it now? We've run the day through all possibilities. Yeah. And then he says, it's time for a death battle. We skip that, go to the recap, and then at the end we come back.
Just in case my voice is going out.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, so that's like the worst line for me to do. And it's the line that at every convention or stuff, people are like, hey, do that one. So it's like, all right, cool.
So now
so
you can't talk for the rest of the day.
No, it's all good.
Throat is dead. All right, next one. Let's do something in the middle. The phone right up front here.
Hey guys.
What's up, man?
I was wondering, was there ever a battle where you were disappointed with the result in terms of like who won?
Disappointed with the result on who won?
Man, anytime somebody, nothing against you, but anytime somebody asks a question like this, I immediately start thinking, okay, what episodes have we done? We've done so many that I have to channel, go through the catalog in my head, and I don't remember all of them off the top of my head.
Let's see.
I'm
it's a million years ago, but I'm pretty sure Mai Shiranui beat Chun-Li.
Oh yeah,
and I'm a big Chun-Li fan, so that one sucked. I was very worried when we did Guts versus Nightmare, because I'm a very big Berserk fan, and I love Guts, and I was so nervous that he was gonna lose. But then luckily his sword cuts on both the physical and the demonic plane, so that helped a lot.
There was a time for a while where DC Comics had this huge winning streak in Death Battle, and we don't plan episodes by victories. We don't know who's going to win when we set the schedule. We do all the research after the episodes have been planned. We do a little bit of preliminary stuff to just make sure that the battle would be interesting, but we don't know who's going to win when we set in stone what episodes we're going to do. So there are a couple occasions when a DC character wins, and I'm like, well, there goes another win for DC. But probably the roughest one was Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Oh, dude.
Going into that one, I was like, okay, hopefully Ben wins, honestly. But wherever the dice fall, we got to go with it. We're not going to change the result based on our own opinion or what we think would be best for the show overall. Theoretically, when here's a good example: Power Rangers versus Voltron, the Megazord versus Voltron. If Megazord were to win that, I guarantee the episode would get a lot more views and be a lot more popular.
Oh yeah.
But if Voltron wins, that's that. We can't change it. And then guess who won? Friggin' Voltron. But I mean, it's a really dope episode. You should check it out.
That's also one of my favorites. Like we did such a crossover, and we had so many. Oh my God, the assets to get that thing made because we had to do the transformations. We had to have all the individual Zords and the lions, and then the giant versions, and like we had to make all that stuff. And like the first round that we didn't come out right.
That's my answer. Power Rangers, just in general, because they've had a terrible time in Death Battle.
Yeah, dude.
The poor Power Rangers.
Yeah, that Power Rangers episode was probably our most expensive episode.
All right.
All right.
We have
Who
time,
else
I
wants?
think, for like maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more questions. All right, Shu, you committed, man.
All right, hello, Massive Legend here.
Hi.
So, my friend had a question, but he's off doing his own thing. John Wick versus the Punisher. Gotta do it.
I love that you tried to circumvent my rule of pitching things by adding a question mark at the end.
It's a question.
To be fair, I don't know when you joined, but because we're in an open area, somebody could join in after you said that.
Oh, that's true. Maybe. We'll see. That's very interesting. John Wick would be cool because that character is like super
I will
dope.
say,
and I love
that's one
Frank
that
Castle.
I've seen on the list that's requested before. We've talked a little bit about that. Character like John Wick, man, that would be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope. Maybe we'll see something like that in the future.
Dude, maybe do it live action. We'll just get Keanu Reeves and then.
Yeah, we can do that, right?
Dude, that would blow my mind. And every now and then, that's the weird thing about with Rooster Teeth. Like sometimes just like really weird opportunities happen. Like I don't know if you guys saw, if you guys know Gavin and the Slow Mo guys. He put him on his social media. He's like recording with Will Smith, and I'm just like, how did that happen? Damn, that'd be cool. Anyway.
All right, let's do one more question. We can do it from
The dude with the blues shirt, Smash shirt's been holding up.
the Smash Brothers shirt. I think that's shirt.
Mike's coming somewhere.
Where's the mic?
Maybe.
I'm
We got somebody running the mic?
What
I
happened to
got
the
you.
mic?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I took the microphone. Sorry. There you go, Chad.
All right.
Thank you. Massive fan, been watching from the start. With the animation tech you guys have now, is there any fights you want to go back and reanimate? Or at least top fight you'd want to do?
Great question.
Thank you, Chad.
Yes. Ben and I have talked about this a lot. So here's this interesting balance. It also comes when we try and reuse a character. Is that like we have so many suggestions, so many people wants to see all their favorite character fight another character, and so every time that we take time to redo a fight, like do a remaster like we did with Samus versus Boba Fett, then like there is a part of the audience that feels like, oh, but I already saw that fight. Like, I want to see my fight. When's my character coming? You know. So, it's like. It's finding a balance for that, and like we've talked about it a lot because we really would like to do that. There's a lot of like matchups that we used early on that we could really do like some cool stuff with now.
A lot of the old, like you said, you look at Death Battle today, and the animation team is killing it. They're so good. Both our 2D department and our 3D department, and now our Source filmmaker friends. Danny, the Ismahawk live action friends. There's also, we've teamed up with, they were Blind Ferret, they're now Laughing Dragon, a 2D animation studio over in here in Canada. There's so many people that are so talented in animation that we work with that, I definitely think about that a lot. Like, which episodes would be, there's no way we're going to be able to do all of it. Like redo the whole first season, basically. But
yeah, I don't know.
I'd kind of like
There's
to. There's
definitely some early episodes that I'd like to revoice.
Yeah.
Because I do a much better job
Yeah.
as Boomstick now than I did in the beginning.
Fix some of that early. Oh yeah.
God, some of those like really early episodes, like I can't. Like if somebody puts it on, I'm like no. Anyway.
So I think we've mentioned this before, but I think that if we were going to go back and redo one, it would probably be Cloud versus Link would be the first one that stands out in my head. I don't know. Nothing's set in stone, so it might be something else. But I'm sure we'll go back again because we did do that with Mario versus Sonic.
Clearly, it's going to be Goomba versus Koopa.
Or we could redo Goomba versus Koopa and make it even
We
crazier.
did talk about doing, what is it, like the Mega Goomba?
We were going to do
versus the
Goomba
Mega
versus Koopa 2 at one point.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that up until right now.
Oh, Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black. There's one we'll never touch again.
No. All right, I think we got to wrap things up. We're technically going a little over time now, but we do have a quick little teaser for the next Death Battle that comes out November 4th.
Yeah, it was not ready yet, but we were like, we wanted to whip something together so we can give you guys just a little taste of what's coming up.
A Mob from Mob Psycho 100 versus Tatsumaki, the Tornado of Terror from One Punch Man. So let's go ahead and bring up that little teaser next time on Death Battle.
You think you're impressive?
You shouldn't use your powers on others.
I'll crush you in 5 seconds flat!
This airs on roosterteeth.com, then 2 days later on YouTube on the Death Battle channel.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
All right,
much.
thank you guys so much. Have a good EGLX.
Big round of applause for